The Princess and the Pea, as retold by Renee Johnson. Now, let me tell you of the prince, whose story might just make you wince. He hid away from his stepmother, for all she did was try to smother. He'd try to play and have some fun, or go outside, be in the sun. When it was time for royal lessons, he didn't listen or ask questions. He'd dream of traveling far away, exotic places, a mind buffet. History lessons were even worse. Given the choice, he'd choose a hearse. You thought he'd be the one that was dead? Oh no, our prince was the driver instead. Behind the wheel, he'd have many options. Perhaps even find a couple for adoption. But in the castle he remained, although his stepmom called him names. The servants saw and knew the boy deserved some time to play with toys. They wanted the prince to get some pleasure, but that was quite a treacherous endeavor. For when the queen eyed the prince at play, she could not be lived with the rest of the day. She'd rant and she'd rave and she'd threaten the prince to have him tossed soundly straight over the fence. She told the boy he had subjects to rule, and the prince, well, he must only do school. The servants she would browbeat too. She'd yell until her face was blue. Queen spent her days in lazy enjoyments, just eating sweets. Now, isn't that poignant? Although she expected her boy to work hard, she bummed around, collecting more lard. As the years passed, our young prince grew. The servants' rile began to accrue. Then the day came when the prince was a man, expected to find a princess for the land. She had to be smart. She had to be fine. Her looks must at least be a 9.99. A lass whom everyone could love. So perfect, she must have been sent from above. Prince had no interest in choosing a mate. In fact, he withdrew from even one date. So, Queen decided for once in her life to get something done and find him a wife. She sent out a notice to all the young lasses girls could apply, but not ones with glasses. Perfection desired, read the decree. Come only if you're royalty. Girls came from far and came from wide. Dads sent their daughters out with pride. Lined up by the bushel, lined up by the heap. The queue was 4 miles and 10 females deep. The queen, don't forget, she was not kind at all. As quick as a flash, she was making girls squall. Too ugly, too fat, too tall, too short. You, my girl, are a dribbling wart. You'll never do, she said to one girl. Your face is repugnant. I think I might hurl. Now, this one and that one, you. Yes, you, she said to the crowd as she picked out a few, are atrocious, appalling, and quite simply ghastly. Why, you in my castle would just make me gassy. In droves, the girls were sent away. To the queen they had fallen prey. They came with big dreams of nobility. They left instead in fragility. They never recovered from the insult and became old maids as a result. Of the many young ladies which on that day came, only a handful still yet remained. These were the girls who were perfect indeed, exactly the kind her kingdom would need. Each one was a beauty and from royal blood. Queen had already thrown out the duds. But how would she choose from these beautiful girls? Maybe just pick the one with the curls? She thought of a plan that was really quite sneaky. She'd ask each girl to stay the night sweetly. They never dreamed that this was a test. They simply thought the queen offered them rest. She brought them inside and fed them each dinner. each beauty hoping that she was the winner. While the girls ate, she consulted the servants. They must do her bidding. It was really quite urgent. In each room where the girls were to sleep, they must stack beds 10 mattresses deep. Under the stack, they were to place a pea, which would be a test for the dates. A real royal girl who deserved the crown would feel the small lump when she lay down. In the castle so large, there were so many rooms. Mattresses abounded, as one would assume. But peas, my friend, were another matter, for the last had been used in the pancake batter. The servants then were very afraid. The queen was harsh when disobeyed. One man had been tied to the pig for a month. One had been bathed in strawberry punch each day until he smelled so sweet, the bears decided he'd make a good treat. So, the servants looked all over the castle for any small thing that wasn't too fragile. A hummingbird egg they found in a nest, a small piece of gravel that matched the request. They were getting quite desperate as bedtime was near. One pulled his loose tooth, but it wasn't a sphere. After searching and seeking and hullabaloo, one pea was still missing. So what did they do? Don't worry, they found it. It'll be a surprise. Why, you probably won't believe your own eyes. Each girl went in her room to see mattresses stacked staggeringly. No girl wanted to stay up too late, so each climbed atop and did not wait to close her eyes and visualize tomorrow, when she would get the prize. Most of the girls fell right to sleep. 10 mattresses are quite comfy, you see. But one candidate did not sleep at all. It was not because she feared she'd fall. It was due to a lump way down deep in her bed. She tossed and she turned till the sky turned red. When morning arrived, each girl dressed in finery and went to the hall, expecting to finally know who'd be crowned the new princess. But our sleepless girl was feeling the stress. She yawned and she stretched until it was noticed that all was quiet, for here was their hostess. All but the servants were horrified by the sight of their queen with only one eye.